How's it going, guys? And welcome to another fitness tip from the Common Climber. I'm Collin McGee, and what we're going to talk today about is a very simple way to begin your finger strength training. First, we're going to talk about what kind of muscle contractions there are, and then which one we're going to choose to be our entry-level, super simple way to begin to strengthen the fingers. There are three main muscle contractions. We have the concentric muscle contraction, in which the muscle is shortening to create movement. So with the elbow example, the forearm comes closer to the shoulder because the bicep muscle is shortening and active. That is the concentric action. There is the eccentric action. The muscle, again, the bicep will be active, but the two are separating, or the muscle is lengthening while still active and working. That is an eccentric action. And then there is an isometric action. The muscle is still active, but no movement is occurring, right? So if I'm pushing my arm down, there is an isometric muscle contraction occurring. What does this look like on the wall? A concentric muscle action happens when I'm moving myself up the wall. So perhaps I am here and I'm going to move, pull myself more up the wall. That is a concentric action. And eccentric would be perhaps a down climb, would be really simple. So if I'm up on the wall and I'm trying to slowly lower myself down, the arms are working eccentrically. And then the isometric, which arguably is probably one of the most important ways to train for climbing, is if I am just doing nothing. So if I am crimping, if I am holding, or am I having a static position on the wall, we are working with isometric muscle contractions. So it makes sense that this would be a great place to start for training. And it's really good because we can do it anywhere. We don't need fancy equipment, although we're going to talk about a little bit fancy equipment, and we're going to talk about some entry-level ways we can do this to measure it as well. However, let's get started. The isometric contraction looks like it can be in half crimp, open hand, full crimp, and so on and so forth. So really all we're gonna do is find something that can't move and pull. That's about it. Or we could push, or we could kick, so on and so forth. But those isometric muscle contractions are very simple to do, and they will get you stronger. The research shows that we need at least about 70%, give or take, of our maximum effort to tell the muscle to give it a good enough challenge to get stronger. Now, the time frame for which we are working that hard will vary depending upon your goals. But for today, let's talk about peak strength, or just max strength. So we want to maintain that 70 or 80% maximal effort for about 3 to 5 seconds. That's going to give the fingers that we're going to talk about enough reason to get strong. So right now I have my tension block. I'm hooked up to carabiners, I'm into a bolt, and today we are going to use the G strength and another scale option to measure and kind of put into numbers what I am talking about. And we're going to log into the app, and here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the G strength, and what this thing does is going to measure the force. So at home, immediately what you can take away to get stronger is just working hard. And this is safe because it's self-auto-regulating, where I can just grab onto a hold, I can pull really hard, and I'm most likely not going to get hurt because I'm not having a weight that I might have overestimated my strength for. You're just going to stop pulling hard because you're running out of energy. This is why these things are really good and you can do them anywhere. So I'm going to drop to a knee to get into a position. We'll call this roughly a 90-degree angle, and I'm going to start the test, and I'm going to pull on the app. You're going to see a line start to show, and then as I release, it'll go down. It's going to give me my maximum strength, which is in kilograms, so we'll do some math and do that. So my maximum strength here, as shown, was 50 kilograms, right? Or about 120 or 30 pounds of force. So we need to be working at about 70 or 80% of that from this specific everything I did to see strength occur in what I was doing. Now, you don't have to use something as complicated as a G strength, though you get all the bells and whistles, the software, and it's really, really nice. What we can use is a simple crane scale that will give us the same results. So unlike the G Strength, which will run you about $400 to grab the device, the software, this crane scale can be an excellent entry-level device to measure how much force or how strong you are in whatever you're doing for your pulls. For about $30 off Amazon, you can get a scale, think about like a food weighing scale, that's gonna tell you in pounds or kilograms how hard you are acting on the block, on the piece of wood, whatever it is. And again, this is just a little bit of extras, even for the scale, to measure how strong you are and to show results, but also to give you a little bit more specificity and accuracy with your training. Again, that 70 or 80%. But very simply, we can just work hard. So a good way and good protocol for sets and reps and so forth to pull stronger or get stronger with your pulling is about 5 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds, which is where your peak force peaks. Rest about 10 to 20 seconds and then repeat. And it's going to be specific for your hand positioning and any other positioning of your body. For example, if I want to get stronger in half crimp at about 90 degrees of elbow flexion, I'm going to hang on right here. I'm going to make sure that I cannot move myself. I'm not strong enough, so I don't need to lock myself down. But if you're a really big, strong puller, you might have to lock yourself down using a dumbbell, a machine, whatever it is. And so for about 3 to 5 seconds, I'm going to slowly pull. I'm going to pull really hard. Like we say, if you ain't shaking, you faking. And that's going to give my finger flexors and everything in this position a good challenge for it to get stronger. I'd wait about 10 to 20 seconds, and I would repeat 2 or 3 times. This can be done 2 to 3 times a week at 90 degrees, at longer angles, even at full crimp, open crimp, jug pulling, whatever it is that your goal is to get stronger. Again, not a lot of equipment needed. You can use a tension block, which can be found on Tension Climbing for about $40 or $50. Some carabiners, a scale, right? If you want to get really into the details, like we do here at AFC and we do at Camp 4 Human Performance, that's where you grab the G Strength and all the software that gives you a full battery of testing to let you know where you're at and how to best achieve your goals. Takeaways: isometric training